you have to let some things through, and that's where being able to let through a hero like Puck because you play such a good Shadow Shaman is a really big strength, I think, of Vici Gaming.
What would you do? You have the chance to either ban out PYW, Shadow Shaman, or
oh wait.
Wow, we're already seeing what's happening. Shadow Shaman is not banned, still in the pool. Vici Gaming has not yet picked it up. We do have a Pango Void Spirit for Ob.Neon. Those are their two of their most picked heroes. They're doing very well with them.
They block picked the Pango, so whenever you talk about Vici Gaming, it's like, are you going to ban Pango against Vici Gaming? Because Old 11, it's by far his best hero. When he's on this hero, he just takes over the game. And Neon snag it for themselves.
I 100% agree with you. It is very scary to have a Pango on Old 11, but the answer from Vici Gaming with this Puck is also phenomenal. You're picking Puck into Pango and Void Spirit. You just like this matchup versus both of these heroes. You have Dreamcoil versus Void Spirit. The lane can be rough, but we've seen Abed Puck even win it. And then you have Pango later on, who just can't use his Rolling Thunder. And then you follow up with the Shadow Shaman.
Yep, they still get their preferred 4. Having the lockdown against both Void Spirit and Pango very helpful as well. So, you know, you may not be playing against the Puck, but you're playing against 2 elusive heroes with escape, so you still want to have that disable.
Versus any Spirit. Lion or if Shadow Shaman is banned, that is, you pick Lion. If not, you get the Rasta. Pretty good.
I think both teams are pretty happy with their opening. Like they both fit in their own wheelhouses. It's just a matter of which style is going to prevail at this point, and obviously how is the rest of the draft going to look, but this both looks very comfortable.
And I have to agree completely with what you just said, Shiver, because unless a team has their own complete style, like a different approach to the game, we see openers that kind of are fine for both teams, right? Unless you're secret and you're first picking Mirana and then you lose. But most teams, they open up with something that's already tried and tested and looks very strong.
Yeah, I feel like in the wild cards and groups, we're seeing some teams go for openers that you could just tell like the IO Weaver openers with the support IO. Like, we were not a fan of that, and it kept losing. But now, I think now that we're further in the tournament, every team has their openers that they know they're not going to get outdrafted.
If you don't have that first pick, you're banning out the IO. If you have the first pick, you can let it go through, maybe snatch it for yours. Because Ob.Neon, I believe they had a first pick this time around.
Yes.
And like looking at them, IO plus that Prophet, that was their best stuff. Like out of all of their drafts, IO plus Prophet looked the scariest.
Now they're going to target a lot of those carries, Monkey King, Alchemist.
Yeah,
I mean, Alchemist is kind of more of an offlaner, actually. That was one of the Vici Gaming kind of pocket picks we saw against Team Liquid when they ran that with a Jug Storm Spirit.
Yep, it looked a little bit scary with the Storm Spirits, right? Like, you give him that Aghanims and you don't perform that well, that much. Yeah.
It was like a level 9 Storm who had level 1 Vortex. Yep. But once they go late game, you know, Storm and Jug with free Ags, it's like an extra item slot.
This morning as well,
power spike.
With, what was it, Void Spirit as well? Getting it versus EG didn't look that great.
Honestly, I've not been a big fan of the offline Alchemist overall. I think it's been very situational, and you have to have the good axe heroes.
It's the most brainless strategy for an offlaner ever. You're just farming and giving items around, and okay, guys, if you play well, we win.
I think also Vici Gaming winning with it yesterday gives a little bit of a colored image of the hero, because Old 11 did great, but Juggernaut would have been a lot more farm if Old 11 didn't take up all the Juggernaut creeps, and also they were playing against Liquid, which left them a little bit more space to farm, I felt, compared to some of the other opponents they will see.
Look at the bans from Vici Gaming. Like, okay, Nature's Prophet because they play it on carry on Neon, right?
Yeah.
But TA even, because you're playing Puck mid lane, you don't want to be facing up against TA and some position 4 or 3 Void Spirit.
And they know, like, Ob.Neon's a team that's going to potentially throw those kind of curveballs. Like, they want to maybe play around the star power of Yopaj. He is, you know, I was talking about the SA mid laners, but yesterday about, like, you know, Abe, who left the region playing against Moon, who's kind of considered the best mid in SCA for a while. Yopaj is saying, you know, I've got a claim for that title too.
Yeah, we saw him play, a new hero. Saw him play TA against Thunder Predator earlier in the groups, and it was looking very good. Ogre Manjai.
A big boy.
Yeah.
On the side of Ob.Neon. Wow. Interesting, haven't seen it
at all.
Quite a lot at all.
This
is
the
recently.
First of the tournament.
Will Vici Gaming just go all out with a Bloodseeker and then just make the like everything to ban?
You don't need to. That's overkill.
I know.
You could pick it, but
we've seen it in that first game, like something with an ATOS You also have double rupture. Like it actually wouldn't be that bad. The only question is, I mean, it wouldn't be that bad. Let's put it that way.
I'd rather see them get something like to synergize with the like Inkswell initiation, or even the Grimstroke Ultimate.
Sand King that we've seen from them in all the 11 sometimes, right? Possible. They go with the Jug straight up.
Okay. They want to secure their carry. And I guess leave the puck a little bit open. It could go into that off lane, although not that likely, I would say. Ori is just such a classic puck player.
Yeah. And you talked about synergy with the Inkswell. You do have Jug, right? It's very, very strong in that laning stage because you can't really lane against that very well. They do have a Pango who's very mobile with Swashbuckle. You can always escape, but...
The Lesh coming out for Ob.Neon has been a scam hero most recently.
Yeah, they've been picking quite a bit of Lesh this tournament. I know at least day one on group stage, I saw them picking it a few times, running it in different lanes, different roles, but I do like it a lot on Schem. Interesting they pick it after the Jug, a hero that, usually with the built-in magic immunity, you're not too afraid of a Lesh. And Omni Slash as well. If Lesh runs at you, well, you're going to turn an Omni Slash in.
Swift Slash, Omni Slash, Spin, you just have so many ways of getting away from all that damage. And it's not a hero that benefits from Augur, really, right?
Yeah.
Like you want something...
Who's the Bloodlust
yeah,
hero?
exactly.
That's what I was expecting.
Later on, you want a hero that benefits from Bloodlust. Here, they truly don't have anything like that. You do have setup in the lane, I guess, for the Split Earth with the stun into Split Earth, but even that stun isn't that great.
Yeah. Sounds like you're not a big fan of the Lesh pick either.
No, I mean, not necessarily with the Augur. I've seen Lesh work for Ob.Neon, but right here, it's meh.
It's kind of like the semi-carries they like to run, and it means if they don't have that hard carry, they have a hero that can take towers. You've got the Edict. I think that's why they played really well around Death Prophet as well, because if they're not going to pick that hard carry, you still need a way to push the tempo, take towers, take map control.
And this is pretty much the hero because of who they have all these 30-minute mark victories, right? The Graph, those early wins, it's Lesh and Death Prophet.
Yeah. They
like to run this very active kind of a lineup. It could also be the offlane Lesh, right? Like you could mix things up, put offlane Lesh with Pango, mid lane Void Spirit and Augur plus some carry on the safe lane.
Even
Still
Lycan
open.
gets banned. They are really worried about that kind of fast tempo pushing coming out.
Is there still something in the pool? I mean, Prophet, Beastmaster all removed. I guess Enigma of all heroes with a Necro 3 build is the only one left.
Yeah, and I think that kind of limits their ability to scale a bit. Like
Yeah.
the Slardar and Lycan give you just a bit more just damage output, physical damage output. Enigma's that... I don't think they want that big, long cooldown ultimate, per se.
They'll end up going with the Medusa. Some late game insurance policy coming out there.
There's a Bloodlust target.
Yep, definitely a Bloodlust target. And now it's all about that triangle. How good is this team at defending the Medusa and her farm? Some cool stats from the SCA region are that Medusa, in hands of any team, even the ones that got relegated to Division 2, to the lower division, would win against top-tier teams.
Okay.
One of the reasons why TNC wasn't even in the wild card is because they lost to Execration, who was relegated 0-2 to a Medusa pick, two Medusa games. But usually when you see a Medusa, you also expect some sort of a stable team fight. Phoenix, Mars, something like that. They don't really have it.
Yeah, so far, Ob.Neon has played Medusa once this tournament against Aster and did not go the way they wanted it to, unfortunately for them.
They still believe in it, so they grab it.
Yeah. And the Bristleback coming out for Vici Gaming. Going to be a tough one to take down.
They just want one of these heroes. Timbersaw, I believe, was out as well. They want one of these heroes that's able to just make a mess on the map. Old 11 will be that Bristle that buys a couple of those early game items and just goes all in, runs on the uphill on the high ground first in that triangle, and then everyone follows up, which is a solid thing to have.
Ob.Neon look like they've got this very scrappy draft that's going to want... Yeah, they've got the Medusa, but those other four heroes, they're going to want to fight. They're going to want to constantly brawl, run a Vici Gaming, and make space for that Medusa to farm.
And I like that. I think that fits their style. But is it going to work against Vici Gaming is the main question. And For me, I like the Bristle pick a lot, and I will go first. I don't think that Ob.Neon has what it takes to take it down. Would love to be proven wrong, though, because that means we got a hell of a fun game ahead of us. But Lizard and Gods, my experts, I trust your opinion more than mine regarding
I'm just
this.
waiting for production to see if they're going to put anything under my name.
No. I want you to be your own man.
Nothing
you make
happening.
your own decisions.
This time around, nothing's happening. Okay, I like SCA's draft. I like Neon's draft quite a bit. It's chaotic. It's the epitome of the region, but Bristleback is going to be a wall that they won't be able to break. Vici Gaming.
Okay.
You don't believe them. You're just saying how well Medusa's done. You don't believe.
They have to prove me wrong.
Okay.
They lost versus Vici Gaming already. If they prove me wrong, we'll think about it.
Hi, this is Lorenzo from Dota Pro Games. On this channel, every day, we upload Dota games from pros like Arteezy, Paparazzi, Miracle, and many more. If you want to play like them and understand their secrets, consider subscribing to this channel. You will increase MMR in no time. Also, liking this video is free and will help me bring you more and more content. Enjoy the game. Thanks.
Kills this game, just roll over them, get lots of runes.
So when the game starts slowing down, it's bad news for Ob.Neon.
Potentially. I mean, they have Medusa, but I think they do want a fast-paced early game with the other heroes.
Okay, well, let's find out if they can get that. It is time to head to our commentary team for the first game of this series. Is B-Cup and Black.
Thank you very much. Coming into this game, Vici, Neon, Black. It's like watching your kids grow up. We were covering both these regions, and now they get to show us everything.
Yeah.
In an
And
elimination series.
One kid left, my friend. Natsumi could not make it. He went to another school. He left all his friends behind. Feels bad, man. But now they have a stand-in, and they still got to top 8. So they're doing wonderfully here for themselves. I'm pretty excited to see what they have to show against VG, who, of course, are the favorites. But Neon, they are looking pretty damn good themselves.
Yeah, they look good during the DPC season, and now, of course, going through the hardships of stand-in city. They have to really pick it up here. And it's going to be a tough one, but they've shown some promise. So I'm really excited. Like, I want to see what they bring to the table on this one. But you're up against some comfort picks of Vici. The Shaman, the Puck, the Jug. Like, that just feels like Vici's got everything that they're comfortable with.
I mean, what can we say? Everyone gangster until Naya, Taya, Nada. There's nothing you can do. PYW on that hero? I don't know if he's lost the game yet. On this, on the playoffs with him. I don't believe he did.
And during the season, it felt like he was never losing with this hero because Shadow Shaman was very popular in the Chinese region, and that hero was cleaning up. It was quite disgusting.
Yeah, he's super popular in the Chinese region, especially. In SEA, not so much. And we really just see a lot of Chinese teams pick it up. Even in the playoffs here, a lot of other regions don't really care too much about it. But whenever they pick it or another Chinese team picks it, they're doing very well with it.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of priority in the Shadow Shaman in the Chinese region. One guy that I know loved this hero, he's not in the DPC right now, is James. Used to play for CDC, and that was like one of those guys who put on clinics every time he played Shadow Shaman. And it just really kind of extended from there. Like, I was watching him play it, and then now you've got guys on every single team in the Chinese region just picking up this hero, and really the 4 is using Shadow Shaman basically to its full potential every single time.
Yeah, it's definitely a very strong hero, but Neon has good tools to deal with it. They have the Void Spirit to get on top of him, the Pangolier as well. Even the Stone Gaze is not very easy to handle for the Shadow Shaman because you can't really shackle anyone. DY here in a little bit of trouble. One Spirit Earth could spill his death here.
Yeah, DY getting stunned up and now trying to TP after the stuns. Ooh, just skirting out of there. Close enough. Good Aether Remnant. First blood there for Yopaj. Solo kill onto Ori. That's a big one to get in a matchup that, to me, feels 50-50, but how does it feel to you?
It's definitely a little bit Void Spirit favored in the lane, but you should never be able to kill a Puck solo, especially when you're like on relatively high health yourself still. It wasn't like it was a close scenario or anything. So Yopaj showing here again why he's, you know, he's a very interesting player. Sometimes he just goes super ham, other times, you know, he's a little bit cold, but this game he's off to a great start.
Yeah, Yopaj really interested me back a little while ago when I got to catch him play Earth Spirit mid, and he really destroyed. Ever since then, I've just been keeping an eye on him, and he impressed me in the league. He's impressed me here. It's really just been exciting to watch him throughout the event and the season.
Yeah, he has his own like little play style as well as hero pool, and you know, sometimes it works out really well, as we said. Other times he's struggling quite a bit. We'll have to see what he can make happen here once he reaches level 6. I've got high hopes for him as well, especially with the first blood coming in.
Yeah, that first blood could prove to be massive, especially in that matchup, and what comes afterwards. Get to that 6 quickly, rotate, maybe top, maybe bottom, find your, you know, your shots, and really start to potentially snowball with this hero.
The side lane should also be going pretty well for Neon here. Dusa against Bristleback is pretty simple for Dusa. You're gonna have this magic wand and mana shield, you can't really ever die. And then Leshrac is pressuring Juggernaut quite a bit here.
How do you feel about this Lesh pick? It's not a hero that's been all too popular, but showing its face in this matchup in an off-lane situation. Is it something that you're excited to see what could come, or do you feel like this is a good matchup for it, that you know what's coming from this Leshrac?
I mean, I personally love Leshrac. I always did. Like, the Diabolic Edict just gives you too much pushing potential. Like, they don't really have any way to pressure towers, but this Leshrac alone makes it so they will have a very easy time taking tier 1 and even tier 2 towers in the mid game.
It definitely seems like this could be, you know, be 4 heroes that put some pressure on your towers, put some pressure on the map, open it up for Medusa. So be interesting to see how this goes for Vici and how they can work with that as they lose ult 11. And that is a kill for the Medusa that we were talking about. Needs some time to get some farm, but already getting kills here on Bristle. And that's uncharacteristic of ult 11 to really be dropping in his lane. He's proven to be pretty consistent inside his laning phase.
Yeah, but of course, playing a melee hero against Medusa is always a little bit tricky. Sometimes if you take that last bounce of the Mystic Snake, suddenly it's like 300 burst damage in your face. Something you don't necessarily expect, because Medusa hasn't picked that much anymore, you know. So I don't think they're like super comfortable playing against it or laning against it. Have to be a bit careful here. Old 11 might be in trouble again.
Already taking a lot of damage. Hex comes out onto the Medusa. They're chasing Old 11, who gets hit by that Mystic Snake once again. But they're chasing. They're trying to catch up to this Bristle and get a kill. And it looks like Johnny might make that a possibility. Just getting away here, as it's just a lot of harassment onto Old 11. I don't think he feels too comfortable at the moment.
Yeah, Bristleback though, it's always easily possible to catch back up in neutral camps, maybe even ancient stacks. Like cool sprays are just perfect, a perfect catch-up tool. So he isn't gonna be too worried about the laning phase, even though he's still doing very well for himself, still sitting ahead of the Medusa, simply in terms of CS. So it's not all bad for him.
We'll have to see how he does going forward. He's got that bottle. That was a popular thing in the Chinese region during the TPC League, was picking up that off-lane bottle. Yeah, there's the Aether Remnant, but the Dream Core comes out onto the Void Spirit. Yopaj might have bitten off more than he can chew, as they've got 3 heroes here for Vici. There's the Shackles. There's the kill for Ori. And yeah, he bit up too much, and he's going to fall over mid. Gives it back what he got earlier.
Yeah, huge rotation here. Under the Ink Swirl as well as the Shadow Shaman Shackle. There's just too much disable coming out. And they do take him down. Punishes over aggression. Very well done here by Vici, because the puck is really the guy that will make all the plays happen for your team. So you need to make sure you enable him, and they're doing a very good job at doing so.
Now that's the aggression that we expect from Yopaj, but when you've got instant rotations coming out from PYW as well as DY, it's tough. 3v1, that's not a matchup you want to be in, no matter who you are. And now Yopaj, he gives it right back to Ori. This is definitely one of Ori's better heroes. And again, he's jumping forward, looking to make some aggressive moves here onto Ori. Is it a bit too early for this? Because he could get caught out again. I know they don't have Dream Coil at the moment, but time that wrong one more time, or Shadow Shaman's there, and you might just die back to back.
Yeah, you have to be really careful here. As soon as that coil is off cooldown again, the hardest counter to Void Spirit in the game, pretty much. Die very easily there, as you said. So I'll be looking for some rotations from him instead. Maybe to the top lane, maybe to the bot lane. Lots of good targets for him all around.
You see PYW staying over here.
3 middle. Coil up.
They're going to bring 3 middle once again. Inkswell coming through. They've got the silence, and they should be able to lock down Yopaj. Another silence onto this Void Spirit, getting away with a little bit of health. No, they've got the shackle, and they'll get the kill again. Yopaj getting taken out, and Vici, you can just see the communication coming in. We're going mid. We've got Dream Coil right as it comes up. Boom. TP's in. Let's go.
Yeah, they're doing 2 things with that also. They're denying the space maker, or rather the pace setter of Neon having a good game, and they're enabling their own. So they're basically just, it's just a perfect play for them. Like, there's nothing better they can possibly do. Every time that Coil is off cooldown, he has to be so careful in his Void Spirit.
A lot of damage on a Playhard who's just trying to contest there on that rune. But the rune ends up top. Yopaj picks it up, and he refills that bottom.
Yep, and he's on his way top now. He's had enough of getting coiled and getting killed, so instead he wants to put the pain onto the Grimstock, which he's going to be seeing here.
Yeah, DY getting caught out, and they've got the Aether Remnant Swashbuckle in, and another kill there for Yopaj. Resonant Pulse is what does it, and DY just getting caught out a little bit. Rotation comes from picking up that rune. Maybe to be expected, but if you're losing your 5 in a rotation like that, I think you're not too upset about it.
You're not too upset, but and then we see this Edict here killing the tower at minute 8. Like, it's so uncommon to see that the safe lane tower dies so fast to a single offline hero, but we spoke about the potential of the Leshrac.
Yeah.
With that high level Edict, towers just melt. Like, one Edict literally just takes the tower from 100% to 0 if it takes the 100% of the damage.
So that really puts Vici now in a little bit of a bad spot, because you've got Medusa who's comfortable just farming around. You've got Jug who's lost his tower, his lane, and he's got to figure something else out. There's a plan B that's got to be made for Vici, and where does that stem? Do these 4 heroes have to make just a bunch of space now for Poyoyo?
It will all come down to the rotations of Ori here. Like, he will have to be the one making plays happen, and he is also rotating bottom just to be able to get the tower down as well, open up the map a little bit for their Juggernaut. Just making sure that they pressure the enemy. They don't give him complete free farm here.
Yeah, they're going to take the tier 1 themselves, fortified by the Radiant, but once that goes down, that's gone, and Death just trying to put on as much pressure as he can over top. This is just the power of the Leshrac, and they really need to find a way to stop this.
Shaman just taking his level 6. Now the pushing power increased tremendously as well for the VG side. Whenever you drop those Shaman wards down to the tower, there's a lot of damage coming out from there.
Now we'll see if they can move around with those Serpent Wards. They do have a lot to work with right now. They've got the Dream Coil available, Omni Slash if Jug does choose to get involved, which I'm not too sure Poyoyo will look to get involved too early on, as he's just trying to figure out his farm. As he's not even with the Medusa, but not terribly far back. You just got to make sure that you just don't drop too far behind. And honestly, I'd like to see Vici try and stop this Medusa from just having all this open space, but Neon are doing a perfect job of making sure that Medusa does have this space.
Yeah, you can just see the movement of the other 4 heroes. They are perfectly protecting the triangle and the opposite side of where Medusa really wants to farm. So Medusa doesn't really feel scared at all, but he's a little bit isolated there, so he has to be careful when all of his teammates are on mid lane. He could get caught out quite easily there. That's a lot of stacks coming out from VG here.
Is that the best feeling
just smoking up to the Medusa right away. He has to be careful. One coil could kill him. There's still T1 tower for some quick responses, but okay, just retreating back to his triangle, staying safe. Good call by the Medusa.
Yeah, very aware of just the sense of where Vici are. That's perfectly played, and yeah, Poyoyo is going to take these stacks, going for that Battle Fury first. We've seen it time and time again with him on this Jug, certainly throughout the season and throughout this event. You know, we've seen Poyoyo and his strengths with this Juggernaut.
Yeah, so the thing is, people might think, you know, Medusa, wow, it's the hardest carry in this game. But no, once Juggernaut reaches 5 or 6 items, Medusa will die in a single Omni Slash. Like, Juggernaut is an anti-core hero, and he just deals way too much damage to handle, even for a hero like Medusa.
And if you find yourself potentially Silence unable to get that ult off. You can get shackled from such a distance away. They look over at Old 11. Can they get the kill into the Bristleback? They're starting to chase. They've got a two-man Dreamcoil coming in, as well as the Silence on both of those track, as well as the Ogre Magi. They've got the shackle coming out for PYW. They get the kill on Jean Uel, but they end up losing Old 11. This is not looking too great for Vici, though. They'll lose a second. PYW ends up going down to play hard. Ori doesn't jump back on that illusory orb. However, that is not the fight Vici we're looking for.
Yeah, getting one support, trading it for a core and a support. Not the best for Vici, unfortunately. And there was a fight without Medusa. But also Juggernaut didn't join it either. So at least he is getting closer and closer to their Battle Fury, which will then enable him to farm on par with the Medusa.
Yeah, he's really hoping that he can find this at a decent mark. And so far, I think it's a good timing where he's estimated to pick up the finishing touches to this Battle Fury.
Yeah, the problem is just, will he get the space? Because right now, Vici Gaming, they're lacking quite a bit of damage, I'd say. Like, Leshrac has a hood, Pangolier is a pretty tanky hero once he's in his role, Ogre is tanky, and so is Void Spirit. It's going to be very tough for the heroes of Vici to really kill anybody in the team fight until they get some damage items up on the Puck, on the Bristol, as well as the Juggernaut.
We'll have to see what Ori can do with this. Ooh, Rolling Thunder coming in, and that's going to hit onto DY, looking like he's dead to rights and will fall to play hard. This Pango is just a thorn in the side of Vici, and it's only 13 minutes in. You can see just the disruptions it's caused. It's such a struggle to play up against this Pango, especially once he gets that Blink Dagger, and he's not too far off of it. Let's see how this goes. As we take a look, and Medusa's still just trying to farm up as much as possible. Has that Sanjin Yasha going into the Skadi. We've seen nothing really stopping this Medusa at the moment. 1-0-1. It really is just the space made here for Neon. And Vici really need to find some sort of answer to slowing down this Medusa, and of course they're waiting on this Jug at the moment. Double damage pop. They're going to go after Erica, who will go immediately into the Blade Fury TP out, and there he is, getting away. Formerly known as Erica.
They have no way of Vici until they get some bashes out on the Pangolier, potentially on the Void Spirit, but it's not really coming out on him until like 4th item. He's going to be having a pretty free game. Also, and just push very aggressively. Oh, you're now level 3. Right, that right here. Right is not the most fun to be on the map right now.
Poyoyo has that Battle Fury now. Should be able to catch up to the Medusa, right?
It's hard. Like, Medusa has this inbuilt split shot. He's always going to be flash farming. You can see it here. He's using it very well. It's going to be tough to catch up to the Medusa. I would just love for Vici to try and somewhat contest the Medusa's farm at least, because once his card comes up, Coil.
Yeah, Dreamcoil coming through on a play hard. They're going to look over and try and take out this Pangolier. They get the kill on a play hard easily. Nobody coming over to try and help out on the side of Neon.
As I said, like, once the Skadi comes out from the Medusa, this Juggernaut will not feel very comfortable ever joining a team fight. And he's just going to be slowed up, and they won't have the damage to kill her. Also, Bristleback will feel less tanky because this region will, of course, be reduced. Medusa right now is not very strong.
How much are we looking for for this Medusa?
How much in terms of
like time? I would say probably the most. This Death is getting chased here by Old 11. Got the 8 as well, should be able to stun him up. They've got the silence as well from the Phantom.
Damage from the Bristol.
And this is a lot of damage from the Bristol, but it's taken a long time to even kill this Leshrac. Finally get a kill onto Death, but they got the stun onto the Puck. They'll look over to at least trade Old 11. Need a couple more shots. He's quite tanky. Duels up into the air, and Old 11 does finally fall to Yopaj. However, while that's happening, bottom, they're trying to take a tier 2 tower.
Yeah, lost the push coming in, but they're responding swiftly. UW in trouble here.
Yeah, gets caught by that Aether Remnant, gets the Hex out onto Yopaj. They're still trying to take
Tower's
the tower.
falling,
Yo-Yo
though.
focusing onto the tower, and will take it.
I mean, he knows they have no way to cancel the spin TP. Very well played by VG here. They traded top lane, off lane for off lane, and they got a tier 2 tower very early into the game. And to answer your question, how much time does Medusa need? Really just that Skadi plus 1 damage item. You get a Skadi plus a Butterfly, you take this Roshan, there's a potential for just finishing the game right there. You can go high ground with those items, and potentially the Juggernaut won't be able to fight back the Medusa at that time.
Yes, we'll have to see if they can get to that timing, right? Because this game is still dead even in terms of net worth.
Dead even, indeed. I mean, VG is not doing a bad job. Even though Medusa is free farming, they're keeping the other core heroes quite low on net worth. And Juggernaut himself, as we have seen, is farming quite well as well.
So 18 minutes into the game, you hit that 10K mark on the Medusa. Still just trying to open up space here is Neon, as they have been trying to push this tier 2 top a couple times. They haven't gotten it still, and I think I'm a little bit surprised, maybe because they've got the Leshrac. I was expecting a little bit more pushing from them, but we haven't quite seen it, and they've been pushed away a couple times.
Yeah, because VG is doing a really good job at split pushing. You can see it, they're pressuring top, but they're already hitting mid tower. Potentially team fight. Here, Leshrac.
Ooh,
be very
forward.
careful.
They've got the Dream Core coming in on a 2. They've got the Leshrac as well as the Void Spirit Yules up into the air as they'll use that Hex. Do they have the control to get this kill? Here comes the Medusa, and there's the old Yules turning it around on the PY. Don't think they get the kill on the Shadow Shaman. Immediately into the Blade Fury is Boyoyo to get away. And set up to be something nice for VG. Can they get back in here and maybe turn this around? They get the kill on a Death. They'll take the Leshrac. Phase shift into the Aether Remnant, just setting it up so easy as they'll take out Ori, and it ends up being a 2-for-1. Neon coming out on top and doesn't have the full Skadi, but that's a perfect spot for Medusa to get involved and push back Vici as well as get 2 kills.
Yeah, this team fight started off with a perfect coil and 2 very valuable cores, but they just don't have the damage on VG, as I said previously. They're still lacking quite a bit of items. You can see the coil here again. This is exactly what you're looking for with the coil, but the damage is just not there. And they're focusing the Leshrac rather than the Void Spirit, so he survives barely, and Medusa comes in to save the day. Ori, though, he makes a very good play. He kills the Leshrac, he just kind of doesn't draw into his orb. I'm not sure why, but you know, sometimes there's a little bit too many buttons to press.
Especially with that puck and Blade Fury right on top of the Ogre. With the Ink Swell, you've got the Bam's Embrace, so there's the silence and they get the kill.
Chopping him like the onions that I had for breakfast. Very finely diced.
Ooh. Did you roll the dice?
I did not roll the dice, unfortunately.
You gotta dice
whenever I roll the dice, I get the lowest possible.
Snake eyes every time.
You know, I was rolling for my mid lane, right? The guy rolled a 5, and I actually managed to roll a 1. How is it possible?
It's just the luck of the draw, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Did you do
well,
slash
you know what they
roll
say.
just 1?
Unlucky in gambling, lucky with the women. But they're setting up for a Roche here. Will they be able to get it in time? I mean, VG should definitely be able to sniff that out and potentially contest it.
This isn't exactly the fastest Roche. Old 11 starting to step forward, but I don't know if that's the spot he wants to be in. They're already starting to chase the Bristle. He's got his back to the rest of the Radiant team and really not taking much damage overall. They've got the shackle onto the Medusa for a second. We'll use that Stone Gaze, turn around on a PYW, get the kill there onto the Shadow Shaman. They've turned this Bristle back to Stone. That's a big problem here for Old 11. The Rolling Thunder comes in. They've got themselves the Dream Core that's going to snap out of the Ogre Magi as well as the Soul Mine. They've got themselves the Omni Surge. They get the kill to play hard as well as Januel. Now they're going to turn this around. They've only got 3 heroes available on the side of Neon, and they've caught themselves the Opaj. Down goes the Void Spirit. It's a triple kill here for Boyoyo, and Old 11 is still not dead. I mean, this guy is showing him their back, showing him their front. Doesn't die.
Super well played here by VG. Showing exactly why Puck and Shadow Shaman are such impactful heroes. The Ward Trap on the Medusa was very well placed as well. And VG just outplaying Neon here a little bit. Now getting the Roshan. They were down 4k gold, now they're up 2k. Well played by them. And they're not on the timer at all, as I said. Like, this Bristleback will scale very well into the late game. So will the Juggernaut. And it's really on Neon here to try to bring it back into their favor. Rather, like, sooner rather than later.
They commit so much onto the Bristleback, and then at the end of the day, they don't even kill him, and they don't really have much to show for it. This Medusa, Sanjinyasha Scotty still doesn't feel like enough.
It's tough. Like, they don't have great lockdown for this puck, for this Juggernaut. You know, like, they have a hard time cutting into the backlines and killing these heroes. Like Puck and Juggernaut are pretty much invincible in this game if they play their cards right, and the teamfight just showed that perfectly. They're having a hard time locking down anyone and killing anyone. I think Shaman the only casualty on the Dire side.
He shackled, and then he realized they all looked his way, and he was dead pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to kill Shadow Shaman. Nobody likes to be shackled. That spell is the personification of obnoxious. Like, there's nothing more annoying than Dota, I think. Like, the way it sounds, and you just stand and you do nothing. It's so annoying.
God, especially when you've got the cast range and you picked up a Psychic Headband. Of course, every time there's a Shadow Shaman, Psychic Headband gets dropped. Knock on wood, I don't jinx it this time. But it feels like he can always get it from just a map's length away.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely put some training into his arms, you know? Swing them real hard and real far. Shadow Shaman is a master of that. The only one that can outclass him is really Rubik.
With the extra length on the shackles, or does he outclass him in different ways by just stealing all his spells and throwing them back?
Now we're just talking about the arm training range of the shackles.
Okay.
Because it's pretty much a full screen once you have Rubik with shackles, which is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, he doesn't miss arm day.
Definitely not. Leg day, however, let's not go there.
So Old 11 just trying to get that Solar Crest. They've got MKB being built here for the Medusa, so a lot of items getting close here around the map. Medusa, is the MKB the answer?
It's an item. Not the biggest fan of it, but you know, it gives you damage, at least. I would have much rather liked to see a Butterfly. I feel like it would make more sense against these physical damage heroes. But the real problem Neon has here is that the other core heroes are not really having a great game other than the Medusa. Like, Medusa is not a hero that can carry this sort of game alone. Shadow Shaman is really good against you. So is Juggernaut, and so is Puck. It's going to be a tough game for Medusa to carry. We'll definitely need some backline support here.
Yeah, looking at the net worth list, it's never a good sign when, yeah, Medusa's at the top. That's a good look. But the 3 cores come afterwards, and the margins between their counterparts is starting to extend pretty hard.
Yeah, they had a very strong mid game, but not much to show here for Neon in the past 4 or 5 minutes, really. It's all been VG, and they're dominating the map right now. So that net worth lead will just steadily be growing.
Yeah, only 2K right now, but look at also just the support farm. Like, DY has found himself a lot of farm. He is 1 component away from finishing off that Ags. Like, that's scary prospects.
Scary. Yeah, like, if Medusa gets Dark Portrait, let's just create some English words here. There's gonna be a lot of damage potential. If you're coiled and the Dark Portrait Medusa hits you, you are gone. There's way too much damage. Big smoke up here, invading the triangle. Neon, though, farmed it already, so they will not be caught here.
Would it be Dark Portraited, or would it be drawn into the Dark Portrait? I have no idea.
Like, how does it even happen? Like, he draws a Dark Portrait of that hero, right? So I think getting Dark Portraited sounds more suitable, maybe? More correct-ish? Possibly?
Maybe.
Who knows? I'm not American. I don't speak English.
I feel like there should be a channeled spell. Because, you know, when I walk around the city and I see all these guys making drawings, like, it doesn't just happen, but all he does is press a button and all of a sudden, Dark Portrait's been drawn.
He is the next, who is this really famous drawer? Van Gogh?
I don't know if he
him?
drew. I don't want to anger artists.
Yeah, I don't want to anger anyone either, but there's a really famous guy who did the Mona Lisa, and Grimstroke is definitely that tier of artist.
Right. Top tier, S tier. His work should be put in museums.
Double S. Possibly even triple S.
So the game kind of quieting down a little bit. It's only 10-10. Like, the game's felt very tense. We're 27 minutes in, and it's only 10-10. Like, there's been some fights 5-on-5 that only end with 1 or 2 casualties.
Yeah, a lot of split pushing coming in here because whoever gets the better initiation can just take the fight very easily, and both teams are aware of that, so they don't want to give away anything for free here. Because they both have like some of the best hard carries in the game. Dusa, Juggernaut, whoever takes it late game, they have a shot of winning. So no team is really on the clock here.
Going after Death and trying to catch up with him. Aether Remnant avoiding it. Still continuing to slow down this Leshrac, though. The question is, how far do they want to commit? They know that Neon's got to be waiting for them. The Lotus Orb.
A lot of damage to Bristol.
The turnaround. A lot of damage coming through onto the Bristleback. They've got themselves the Rolling Thunder coming in, but now Serpent Ward's placed in a good spot to lock up this Medusa, and they've got the Healing Ward that's healing up Old 11 and letting them potentially turn this around. Omni Slash coming in. Is it going to be enough damage? It bounces over the player. Are they going to kill here onto the Pango? Either look over at the Leshrac. They'll drop the Dream Coil, and it's locked onto Death, and he will find his death because he is dead and gone. Daniel also dies after talking about. Look at that shackle. Yeah, exactly what we were talking about, Black. And they are going to lock down Yopaj, but can they lock him down long enough to get the kill?
One more
step away. Aether Remnant placed down. Looking, searching into the trees. They've got him. Man, perfect from Vici, not losing anybody.
And Neon keeps getting baited into focusing Bristleback. Perfect healing ward control here by Poyoyo to keep that Bristleback alive. And once more, he was on like 5% health, but they just can't finish him. And the teamfight turns around in a dramatic fashion here. 4-0 trade for VG once more. And Medusa lives, sure, but we said it before, Medusa can't win this game alone.
Yeah, they've itemized really well for this Medusa. They've played around this Medusa pretty well on Vici. And look at the damage come out quick onto this Bristle. But Dark Portrait was placed on the Medusa. They had the Serpent Words for control. Like, Vici did everything right.
I don't think, actually, I haven't seen the new Medusa Dark Portrait yet. I don't think you get the split shot unless he activated it. So like he can kind of play around with it, you know? Don't activate split shot until you get Dark Portraited, and then there should be no split shot, which will mitigate the damage by a ton.
Yeah, that's the real cherry on top for the Dark Portrait is when you've got that split shot, eh?
Yeah, you absolutely need that. Otherwise, it's just 100% damage with that split shot. It's a total of 400% damage, so... I'm not very good at math, but that number is definitely bigger.
Yeah, we all know how good my math is.
Oh, he missed the Yules.
No, the Yules, but it's still enough to get the kill there. That's a little bit of a surprise as they start to maybe get Old 11. However, they're going to lose Januel as Rolling Thunder comes through. PYW still alive for the moment, but the Aether Remnant lands as well as the Rolling Thunder coming through on the PYW. They get the Thunder, the Shadow Shaman is Old 11 still looking to move forward. They've got the Omni Slash, Lotus Orb used as well as the Ghost Scepter. Blade Fury right on top of Death. They will kill off the Leshrac. Damage done to Old 11, but every time I talk about him, it feels like he's not dying. And as I say that, I jinx it.
Triple
coil on a 3, and now Vici, it's back and forth, it's in and out. They're trying to find an answer here. Omni Slash ends up getting used. Poyoyo trying to get a kill here onto the Medusa, and he's got the Swift Slash. They'll get the kill onto Nabil. They'll take out Play Hard. Triple kill for Poyoyo. Can they make it one more? Astral step away from Yopaj. He gets out of the fight for now and will escape with his life. Man, Vici, it looks like they're out of it. It looks like they're back in it. Then they're out of it again. Then they're back in it. I mean, these fights are back and forth. It feels like Neon had a hold on it, but Dream Coil comes in from Ori, who died earlier in that fight, and turns it around again.
The buyback from Ori really was super important for VG here. They get the big prize, the Medusa, but they have to be really careful here. Ori, if he dies once more, that's a really big window for Neon. He's itemizing into an Aeon Disc now. Once that Aeon Disc is up on the puck, he should not be able to die anymore. At least not easily.
Yeah, even without that Yules landing on him, he was still able to get killed off pretty quickly. And, you know, at the beginning of that fight, I thought Neon did a really good job. But it was Vici, I would say, doing a better job. I don't think Neon did a bad job, but Vici did a better job to turn that fight around.
Definitely. I mean, that buyback was definitely not expected by Neon because they were diving quite deep. And that Aghanim's coil on 3, keeping them in place for 8 seconds is just far too long. Juggernaut's Omni Slash came off cooldown as well. Just absolutely massacring the Medusa, which we said, you know, Medusa is very tanky, but you are not tanky enough to tank an Omni Slash all by yourself. There's just no way.
Yeah, especially now he's got that axe, he's using that Swift Slash, which we saw multiple times throughout that fight. It's just really, you could see how strong not only the Ags is for Jug, but the Shard too.
Yeah, it's one of the best combos in the game. Like, you always want to get both on Juggernaut. You get that 100 additional movement speed on the spin, and you also apply the Skadi slow on everybody. Potentially even a bash once you get that basher. And a big smoke up here. Ori ready with his Aeon Disc. They want to take the fight to them.
Yeah, having that sense of confidence now on Ori, and that's confidence without a buyback, which is rare. Usually it takes an Aegis to feel that confident, but you could see that Ori is going to position himself and look to make something happen because Vici can feel it. They're stepping on the throat. They're looking to finish off this game, and whether that comes before or after this Roche is really
dies
up to
fast.
Nia.
They need to react. They're still kind of just chilling. They probably want to go in as Roshan is already dead. They're not going in.
Oh, Aegis picked up by Poyoyo. Ilpash was trying to make a play here. They've got the Hex, and now can they get the
Long
kill here
arms.
onto the Void Spirit? They've got the Shackle. They should be able to get the kill here on Ilpash, and they'll finish him off. Now the Junko comes out onto both the Shark as well as the Ogre Magi. His Old 11 is going to be on the higher ground once again. They've got the Stone Gaze, but do they have the damage to get a kill onto Old 11? It's not looking likely, but as I say that, he's bounced into the air twice by Playhard, and finally they finish off Old 11. They fall back on Ilpash. Here comes the Omni Slash. It's coming all the way through. They got the kill on Januel. They end up losing DY as well as Old 11. It's 2 heroes dead on the side of Vici, and now down goes the Beal. Blade Fury right on top of Death, and Death, I've said it before, I'll say it again, he has found his Death. Triple kill, that's like the 5th time he's got a triple kill.
Yeah, and again, same scenario. Bristleback is standing there. They keep hitting him for like 10 seconds. He just doesn't care. Ultimately, he dies, sure, but they take the team fight very convincingly here again on Vici Gaming. This Juggernaut is just getting stronger and stronger, and Medusa keeps dying. You can see this fantastic initiation by PYW on the Void Spirit. And then look at the Bristleback. He's just sitting there, tanking.
He soaks up so much damage.
Yep.
Oh, look at the focus on him. You've got 4 heroes focusing him while the rest of the team can figure out where they want to go.
And then look at that Omni Slash, really just cutting through Medusa like butter. It's like so easy for him to just kill her.
It really just seems so easy for Poyoyo now, and I don't know if there's any more answers from Neon, as Poyoyo's just gotten too far out of control.
Yeah, where's the damage going to come from? They still have no spell, no item against Spin. They just can't take him down. Poyoyo, an absolute monster here. Level 26 already, sitting at 3.5k health. They're healing what is going to heal him by like 200 health per second.
Hex coming through onto the Shrek. Death in trouble. Starting to retreat on Vici. Not sure how much they want to commit on the side of Neon, though.
Low on mana on Puck, low on mana on Shaman, so that retreat is very well warranted. Just, you know, you don't want to go into a team fight even though you have Aegis and Cheese with low resources. Like, there's no point to. You're not in any sort of rush. Your Juggernaut is an absolute beast. He's gonna finish his Abyssal Blade soon, and then it's lights out for Neon, I think.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this in the past, especially during the season, was like, if you're in a spot where you can get eliminated, you're going to play a little bit extra safe. And I know this isn't an elimination game, but it's an elimination series, and you don't want to overstep where maybe, especially against the Medusa, give second chances.
Because if you lose that first game, then you suddenly are in danger of elimination, and nobody wants that pressure on them.
No, not at all.
Although some people thrive under pressure, you know? It's just not a very comfortable scenario to be in, knowing that any single mistake could just eliminate you and your team from the tournament. Half a level, then he will have Dream Coil. He's itemizing into a Daedalus, so he's going full right-click here on Puck now. And another source of damage. Like this Medusa, you will see. Won't feel very tanky at all.
It's not just the Jug that's doing a lot of damage. It is Ori, who's had quite a game, and that's coming off a backstep of giving up First Blood.
Yeah. Ori is, and always has been, one of the... Oh! Hex initiation.
Ogre caught. Shackle, Swoop Slash coming through. There's the kill, and now the Rolling Thunder as well as the Blink Target. They're going to go forward onto BYW. They use the Abyssal Blade coming out onto Death. They've got the Soulbind that's going to lock him up over onto Playhard, so he's not going to be spinning anywhere. They've got the Serpent Ward drop down as well as the Dream Coil coming down on 3 of his heroes. They're trying to get the kills on the side of Neon. They've already taken out BYW with big KBB pop out.
No mana, Medusa.
Look at Old 11. He's just moving forward. They've got the kill onto Death. They'll take out Yopaj. They'll look over at Playhard. They fall back onto Death.
But Death, I'm not sure he's got enough here to really turn this around for Neon. They're going to chase past the tier 4s. They'll get the kill on a play hard. That's going to be 3 dead. They do have buyback available on this Pangolier, but it is not looking likely that Neon are going to get out of this one.
Hitting 130, no buyback on 2 of the heroes.
A pistol used on the Medusa, in trouble. Lotus Orb is going to be enough to save. It's not looking likely. He's already out of mana. He's already out of life, and he's not got much more to throw. He's dead for 90. GG is right, Black. Vici take game 1 over Neon, and that is just a kick in the door and a kick in the teeth.
Hi, this is Lorenzo from Dota 2 Pro Games. On this channel, every day, we upload Dota games from pros like Arteezy, Paparazzi, Miracle, and many more. If you want to play like them and understand their secrets, consider subscribing to this channel. You will increase MMR in no time. Also, liking this video is free and will help me bring you more and more content. Enjoy the game. Thanks.
For sure. I mean, that looks so good from Vici. Can I get it one more time, Black? Just the GG real quick.
GG!
Yeah, game 1 going the way of Vici over Neon. And to break it down a little bit further for you is the panel. Take it away, guys. Break it down.
Thank you, B-Cup and Black. And indeed, first game goes the way of Vici Gaming. We said this.